It is an honor to virtually present the 2020 State of the City Address. I had hoped to deliver this address celebrating our city's accomplishments once again in the Lemon Grove Library in person to discuss our challenges and vision for the future. But this year, we are living our daily lives a little bit differently, and we are presenting the state of the city remotely. Lemon Grove is a small city with a big heart that becomes more evident as our community rises to meet the COVID-19 challenge. Every day, I witness the kindness of our community members in wearing face mask coverings and performing well-being checks for our families, friends, and neighbors. And as a community, we are stronger and safer when we work together. Feeding Lemon Grove began as an idea to help our neighbors stay nourished during the pandemic. Funding by a federal grant, several city staff members joined a group of dedicated volunteers from the Lemon Grove Lions Club, the Lemon Grove Clergy Association, and Thrive Lemon Grove. They met on Fridays and Saturdays to bag and distribute food and other necessary essentials to community members affected economically by the quarantine. To date, we have delivered weekly groceries and household items to nearly 4,000 Lemon Grove residents. Since the initial shutdown, I have been inspired by our common resolve to help those in need with compassion and generosity and a willingness to step up and support one another. During our part, the City Council set aside $650,000 to support the recovery of our small business community with monetary grants helping to offset the unprecedented challenges caused by the COVID-19 shutdown. We are encouraged by the positive response that the grant program has received, with 73 local small businesses receiving grants ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. These grants helped well-established and new businesses, many that are women-owned and Black-owned and Latino-owned within our city. You have my unwavering commitment that should Congress pass the HOME Act, we will ensure more grants are made available to support more Lemon Grove small businesses. While the city is doing everything feasible to support our local businesses, you can too. As we move towards a measured reopening, let us all support our hometown businesses. Let us continue to join together to support our community by shopping locally. Just as we support our local businesses, let us continue to join together to help those in need throughout our community. Allow me to recap how we have joined together as a community to help. As I mentioned, Feeding Lemon Grove started this year by providing healthy food and household items to families and neighbors in need. And this year, we also expanded our partnership with Home Start to reach out to those who are experiencing homelessness. The city has leveraged state and federal grants to create a street outreach team to contact all homeless individuals, to provide them with wellness items for daily use, and to help them find permanent housing. I am happy to report that our outreach team contacted over 90 individuals and was successful in finding housing for many of these individuals. This has been a sensational year as energized Lemon Grovians walked door to door in support of Measure S. They courageously met the statewide shutdown to deal with COVID-19 pandemic and participated in Black Lives Matters and social justice demonstrations. Lemon Grove residents continue to demonstrate that we are stronger when we work together. Through it all, Lemon Grove remains steadfast in its commitment to its residents. Your essential city workers continue to provide effective law enforcement, pothole and street repair, planning and inspection services, graffiti and trash removal, and sewer operations. In the last 12 months, 21 lane miles of streets were paved, 266 illegal dumps were picked up, 486 graffiti tags were removed, 1,843 potholes were filled. We responded to 3,724 medical aid and fire calls, and the sheriff's deputies responded to 13,102 calls. There were 52 permits handled by the planning staff, 756 building inspections were completed, and 76 code enforcement cases were closed. These are significant numbers when you consider our significant budget and staffing reductions. This past year, we saw the implementation of the Tobacco Retailer Licensing Program. The Tobacco Retailing Licensing Program creates a separate license for all sellers of tobacco products in Lemon Grove. The rollout of the program paired a staff member and a crime suppression team deputy to share information about the new licensing program with tobacco retailers in Lemon Grove, as well as best practices and state laws intended to keep tobacco out of the hands of our youth. The city was able to launch the new licensing program through a state grant. This program will continue to operate through licensing fees from tobacco retailers. The City Council also passed a comprehensive climate action plan to cut out our local greenhouse gas emissions. The plan allows the city to meet state emission goals by implementing specific strategies and measures, such as encouraging the use of transit, planting trees, and recycling. The plan also includes adaptation strategies to address increased temperatures and fire hazards we are facing today. Last year, I spoke of the chronic budget deficit and underscored that without adequate funding, many city and community priorities would go unmet. There is no way to sugarcoat it. COVID-19 has accelerated our structural deficit to $1.8 million this year. To close the budget deficit, we're working to preserve as many existing city services as possible. The City Council has taken drastic measures. These include using one-time funds from fines levied through code enforcement, continuing with city staff reductions, putting moratoriums on council travel, eliminating non-essential trainings and travel, extending the city's hiring freeze, eliminating all vacant positions, and our city council, city manager, and I voluntarily accepted a 10% pay cut. As we look forward to the presidential election this November, voters will also be voting on Measure J, a local tax on cannabis retail sales. If Measure J passes, cannabis retail sales will help generate up to $1.2 million in additional revenue to help restore vital city services. As I said last year, this structural problem was long in coming. General fund revenue is not matching our increased expenses, especially in public safety, which is nearly 80% of the entire general fund budget. This means that 80% of the city's budget is dedicated to our public safety heroes, our firefighters, and sheriff deputies. In the last 3 years, we have made severe cuts. These cuts are not sustainable, nor will they support a bright future, the future that we are all longing for in Lemon Grove. Just as financial advisors recommended not having all of your eggs in one basket, Measure J will go a long way in helping to diversify the city's revenue stream and restore much needed city services. New revenue streams are also being explored. The City Council and I signed a lease with Outfront Media for new digital billboards. This is a 2-for-1 swap deal. 2 billboards will come down on Broadway and will be replaced by a single digital billboard at the end of Olive Street on city property. The lease agreement with Outfront Media will pay the city $325,000 annually. Once permits are cleared through the state, the billboards will be installed. We are pursuing every grant opportunity available. This year alone, we received more than $4 million for the Connect Main Street project. This visionary project will create a walkable, bikeable, north and south pathway nearly 2 miles in length. Integrated along the Connect Main Street project is a small park space for the community to enjoy. Harriet Tubman said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world." I am always optimistic and honestly believe great things are ahead for Lemon Grove. Lemon Grove is a remarkable community with caring and compassionate residents. Although the first half of 2020 may have been one for the record books, we will end this year unified and strong. Stay safe and stay strong.